number 2. I guess we're going to have to do it this way because my StreamYard just pooped out on me here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I guess we're going to have to do it this way because my internet here is crap. That's what happens when you're too cheap to buy a decent router. So we get to do the uppy downy thing. Shifty Thrifter, thanks for coming back, man. I appreciate you. Yeah, like I said, that's what happens when your internet, your router is crap and it's going out. Not sure what happened there, so we're gonna have to do the the uppy downy way here instead of the StreamYard stream, which is fine with me. I don't care, but I've heard that doing it this way like invites more like trolls and stuff in here, so I don't know, we'll see. So anyway, thanks for finding your way back, guys. I appreciate it. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to get a new router, or not, we will have to get a new router. Which I could use the Shifty Thrifter here to help me find something good, because I know you find all kinds of stuff in the thrift stores all the time. Steve, I'm back. Thanks for coming back, man. I appreciate it. So yeah, guys, like I said, we're just hanging out today. I have no agenda, no plans. I just figured, we would hang out for a little while. Just talk, see what you guys have been up to. Let you know what I've been up to, which is nothing really. As I was saying before, this new channel that I've been watching, it's called The New 80s Revolution. Really cool dude named Jason. Excuse me. And he likes all the same stuff that I do, that a lot of us do. Motu, G.I. Joe, WWE, all that kind of stuff. And I just kind of connected with him over the last couple weeks. I sent him a message. He's trying to collect. He's a big mainly vintage collector. But he's trying to collect a lot of the Masters of the Universe Origins line right now. I guess he must have just discovered it or something. And he's getting a lot of the vehicles and finding a lot of the figures for cheap on eBay and stuff. And so I sent him a message. I've been watching his videos quite a bit over the last few weeks. And I sent him a message and told him, hey man, I said, I have a brand new in the box Motu Origins Stridor that I found at Ross for like $10 or something. That's just sitting in a tote, like a bin in my storage room. I said, if you want it, I'll try to send it to you. Which some of you guys know I'm very bad at. Like, I'm very bad at sending things to people. Because just something about, I don't get over to the post office much where I live. The post office for my town is very, very hard to get to. Because it's like in a cityfied area. And there's like all these one-way streets, and there's a lot of traffic, and so I don't ever go to the post office that's actually for my specific area. So that means I have to drive out to another town or one of the other towns around me to go to their other little post offices, and I just don't usually do that. So, um, it takes a while sometimes for me to get things out to people. So, if I've ever promised to send you something and you haven't gotten it, that's why. But hopefully, I'm gonna start getting better at sending people things that I tell them that I'm gonna send them. I've got a couple people that have sent me gifts and stuff that I kind of wanted to repay, and I'm planning to send stuff out to them. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. But anyway, I told this dude I would send him the Motu Origins Stridor. So, maybe one of these weeks I'll get around to that. Hopefully he's not like anxiously awaiting it. And I know that's my fault. That's not anyone else's fault. But let's see, Ship to Thrifter. When it comes to Wi-Fi routers, after a while, the chips from heating up over and over go bad. So it's kind of wear on them. Yeah. Hello, Heath. What's going on, man? So yeah, like I said, I've been trying to eat better over the last few weeks. Lost 10 or 12 pounds. Still got a long way to go for that, but it's a start. I've been trying to focus on that. I've been trying to, just like my sister said, just rest and reset, so that in a couple weeks, when I start posting videos again, we'll be ready to go. Get the off, man! Fly just landed right on my coffee. I do have a couple plans for videos coming up. My buddy Michael, which you may remember, what's his channel name? Your Retro Toys, I think. I went to his yard sale a few weeks ago. You might remember that in a video. He's the one where he actually gave me a WWF Titantron playset, and I bought the Ewok Village from him. He's actually planning on having another yard sale the 26th of July, and he sent me a message and he told me about it, and he said, if you want, you're more than welcome to come by beforehand and have first dibs at anything that I have for my yard sale. So that's pretty cool. So I'm going to make a video of that. And I know for a fact that I shouldn't say I know for a fact, but I believe he has some cool stuff that I might want to pick up. So that's probably going to be my intro video. I'm 5. Joking. I'm 8. Okay, well that's cool. You're allowed to be in here if you're 8. I don't care. 10 or 12 pounds is pretty great, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. And see, guys, this is what I was saying about the vertical live streams as opposed to the StreamYard that I was using and got kicked off of just now. You get all kind of trolls and things like that in these vertical live streams. So I should have thought to select admins to take care of this stuff for me before I started, but I didn't. Another cool thing, check this out. We have, I don't know if you can see up there, but we have doves nesting in the side of our porch. She's been up there for I don't know, maybe a week or two. She looks terrified every time someone comes out here. We don't bother her or anything. We know she's up there. But She looks terrified every time somebody comes out there. Ricky Barker, what's going on, man? BR, how you doing? Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you. So anyway, yeah, that's kind of cool. She just sits up there all the time. It's pretty cool. So yeah, that, back to what I was saying again, that, New 80s Revolution, that is a channel that I've been watching. If you guys don't watch him, check him out. He does a lot of, doesn't do a lot of, like, thrifting or toy hunt videos. Just a kind of a lot of, like, I don't know. He's been remodeling his basement and his garage. So he does a lot of, like, just, at-home videos. He orders stuff for his collection online and stuff. So doesn't do a lot of hunt videos, but it's still pretty entertaining. Seems like a nice guy. So I've talked to him a couple times through chats and things. And then another person just reached out to me yesterday, actually, based off of a comment that I left off of a worthwhile thrift post on eBay, on not eBay, Facebook. You guys know Worthwhile Thrift, that I go to in my videos sometimes. Well, they're opening a new store in a town, probably about half an hour away. It's called Horsham, Pennsylvania. They're opening a new store at the end of the summer. So I follow them on Facebook, I guess, and I've been seeing like updates from them about this new store. So I sent them a message, or I commented on one of their posts about maybe coming and checking out the new store and taking a video of their opening day and all that. And they said, yeah, sure, that's fine. Reach out to our management team, and we may even be able to schedule schedule you to talk with like the managers and stuff that day, or whatever. So I have to do that still, but somebody saw my comments on that post and reached out to me through YouTube. They went out and found my YouTube channel and sent me a message and said, we found your channel through the Worthwhile Thrift post on Facebook, and just wanted to say hi. Wanted to say, your mental health is important, so good for you for taking a couple weeks off to deal with that. And she was like, if you're ever up in Doylestown, Pennsylvania, which is, a town about 45 minutes to an hour away, here's a list of stores to check out. So I was like, I commented back. I said, that's awesome. Thank you for that. And she was like, yeah. She's like, if you ever want someone to go thrifting with, let me know. So I was like, that's pretty cool. So I might take him up on that. That's, I'll never say no to a new thrifting buddy. So yeah, cool. So anyway, all that to say, I know I go around the barn to say things a lot of times. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust the camera here. All of that to say that I do have 2 or 3 videos planned for you guys when I start back up. Michael's yard sale, picking through his stuff before his yard sale actually starts. And then, maybe the Worthwhile Thrift opening of their new store, and then doing some thrifting with possibly a new friend. Let me read some of these comments. I'm getting behind here. RB, how are you feeling? I'm feeling okay. Right now, my allergies are acting up because I'm right out here with the flowers and stuff, so I'm starting to feel stuffy. But overall, I'm feeling okay. Feeling a little bit rested, a little bit more rested than I was. So yeah, I'm doing all right. Losing a little bit of losing a few pounds, so that always feels better. My knees are feeling better. I am still having a little bit of problem with my leg, with my bad leg, but hopefully with getting healthier and losing weight and stuff, I'll help that issue out as well. So, Steve, when you start back, is going to be less thrift stores and more vintage toy stores. I am going to try not necessarily less thrift stores because I love thrifting, man. I thought about doing that, like less thrift stores and more toy stores, but it's just so hard. Like like I said at the beginning of this live stream, I haven't been anywhere, like except for maybe Walmart a couple times in the last 3 weeks. Um, but I have not been to a thrift store. I have not been to a yard sale. Oh, look at this. Check this out, guys. Did you hear that? Now, I think the male and the female are up there now. Can you see them? I think he thought I was a threat or something. Maybe. Interesting. I'm just gonna sit here and do my thing and leave them alone. um, so yeah, I think, um, I mean, thrifting is my thing. I love to go to thrift stores, and Shifty Thrifter is absolutely right. Less thrift stores, more vintage toy stores is very expensive too. So, um, yeah, if I can, I mean, that's why I go to thrift stores, guys, because if I can find vintage toys for a couple bucks versus going to toy stores um, and toy shows. Now, don't get me wrong, I love toy stores and toy shows, and I am definitely planning to do more of that. Um, in fact, there are a couple of toy stores that I've reached out to. One of them is called Joy's Toys in a town called Hatfield or Hatboro. I don't know. There's Hatfield and there's Hatboro around me. I think it's Hatboro, Pennsylvania. Joy's Toys. Really cool store from what I've seen. I've only been there one time, and it was like 12 years ago, maybe. But I want to go there. And then there's also a store called Zips Toys, which is close by that I want to go to. It's actually like a lot of different toy stores I want to go to be honest with you. So yes, I am going to go to both toy stores and still thrift stores. What I would really love to do is go to more flea markets because I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen they're getting pretty popular now. These toy hunters that go to flea markets. And I'm talking about my friends like Jason Diamond, like Kevin from Retro Slacker. These guys are on top of it right now, kind of on top of the world right now because they do great videos of these of these flea markets, mostly in New Jersey, where they find awesome stuff for dirt cheap prices, and their channels are like exploding right now, like thousands of subscribers in a very short time because their channels are awesome. They do good work. Their videos are great. Their editing is great. So I'm happy for them, but it seems like flea markets are kind of where it's at right now. So I kind of want to do some more flea markets, but I feel like I need to get in better shape because flea markets is a lot of walking, and I'm a big guy and I don't like walking. So I mean, maybe next summer if I can get healthy over, the next year, get way healthier than I am now and lose some weight and get my knees better, I might pump out some flea market videos next summer. But as for now, thrift stores and toy shows and toy stores are what I'm going to focus on, I think. When I start back up. But I got to go to thrift stores. I love thrift stores. I love the fact that you never know what you're going to find in thrift stores. You guys have seen me many times go into thrift stores and find nothing. But then sometimes you go in thrift stores and you find awesome stuff. So, I don't know. I love it. Shifty Thrifter has found some cool stuff lately. I've been watching his videos. I've been watching a lot of videos in the last couple weeks that I haven't done anything. Lori, what's going on? Thank you. Yes, I'm back on today. Decided to do a live stream today. Haven't made any hunting videos yet, but those are coming in the next couple weeks. But yeah, I missed talking to you guys, so I figured I would do a live stream this morning. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. But yeah, I've been watching a lot of videos lately, this last couple weeks. Shifty Thrifter has found some good stuff. Who else have I been watching? Like I said, Jason Diamond. Kevin from Retro Slacker. If you guys don't watch him, definitely check him out. His channel is very, very good. One of my favorites right now, actually. His editing is amazing. And he's been finding some really cool stuff. I'm not quite sure where he lives because I see him going all over the place. He comes down to South Jersey to go to these flea markets and stuff, and then his next video will be up in New York somewhere. So I'm not sure exactly where he lives, but he's got an awesome channel. So check him out if you don't watch him yet, Retro Slacker. Yeah, those are the main ones I've been watching lately, I think. Oh, Burf at 80s Toys Rock. I watch him. I try to watch him weekly. Sometimes I don't get to his videos as much anymore as I used to, but nothing against him. I just don't get around to it. Let's see. Let me check these comments here. Sorry, guys. I'm getting behind on the comments. Steve, when you start back, yeah, I saw that one. Hopefully I answered that question for you. Shifty Thrifter, less thrift stores, more vintage is more expensive. Yep. RB, hey, Shifty Thrifter. I've been working on a 3 to 4 part video. That's cool. That's cool, man. I can't wait to see that. Yeah, RB Animals and Movies, his videos are cool too, guys. So if you don't watch him yet, definitely check him out. Lori Espana, Shifty Thrifter, hey RB, thanks, man. I've been trying to do a video of my thrift store, but they have signs up saying no video allowed. Oh, that stinks. Yeah, you gotta respect that sometimes. If they don't want you taking videos, it's kind of hard. I wonder why. Places, other than... Now, I've gone into places where they said that they didn't mind if I took videos, because I always, unless it's a large store like Liberty Thrift or Goodwill or something, I don't ask. But if it's just a small little mom and pop thrift store, and I'm the only one in there, or there's only a couple people in there, I usually try to tell them, when I go in. A lot of times they see me with my phone out, and I usually try to tell them who I am and what I'm doing so they don't wonder. And I ask if it's okay if I film their store, and most of the time, I'd say 95% of the time, they're like, oh, sure, yeah, no problem. But a lot of times they'll say, as long as you don't, film any of the other shoppers or whatever. So I try not to film the other shoppers in little thrift stores like that, but I haven't really come across too many stores that don't want me to film there. In fact, I actually, one of the stores that I just mentioned that I hope to go to, Joy's Toys in Hatboro, Pennsylvania. I plan to go there soon, probably in the next month or so. Man, my nose is really bothering me. Probably in the next month or so. I've actually reached out to them already and told them, I'm planning to come to your store. Is it okay if I shoot video there for my YouTube channel? And they were like, oh, yeah, of course. We get people all the time filming videos. So, always try to be respectful. Just a little pro tip for you there. Always try to be respectful and mindful of these little stores that, for one reason or another, they may not want you to film in there. So you got to be respectful of that. Shifty Thrifter. Yeah, I'm the exact same way. I'm in the big thrift stores. I don't ask, but that little yard sale one I go to, or stuff like that, I do ask. Now yard sales, it depends for me. Like yard sales, I have asked in the past, and then sometimes I just don't. I don't bother to ask at yard sales sometimes. So it's 50-50. It depends on how the vibe of the yard sale is, really. Um, have you seen any of the Pro Picker videos? Pro Picker, I probably have. It doesn't like I watch a lot of like the picking videos. Commonwealth Picker and actually Commonwealth Picker. I don't. I used to watch him a lot, but I don't really care for him that much. I don't know him personally. I just don't care for the way he does, like, interacts with people. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about the resellers videos. Like for me, I do resell, but I'm not like a full-time reseller. Like I'm not out there scouring yard sales and thrift stores just to resell things, which I don't have a problem with, but if you're like talking people down from, $1 to 50 cents on every item, like you're gonna resell this item for $50. Why are you gonna try to talk them down from $1 to 50 cents? Or, I don't know, it depends. But no, I'm sorry. I get off track. I'm sorry. I have not seen Pro Picker, I don't think. What lines are going to be the main focus of your collection going forward? Good question. That's still something. I mean, WWE or slash wrestling is always going to be probably my first. Nice bike. Wrestling and WWE, vintage WWE, is always going to be probably my number one line that I collect because I love it so much. Like the vintage WWF Hasbro's, WWF LJN, all the vintage merch that they had in the 80s and 90s. I just love it. It's what I collected all my life, honestly. And I love it so much. So that's probably always going to be my number one line that I collect. And I'm always going to collect the things that I loved as a kid. Masters of the Universe, G.I. Joe. Not all G.I. Joe. Specifically for G.I. Joe, I think I'm going to collect just the Real American Hero stuff. The stuff from like 83 through 94 is typically what is considered the Real American Hero line. So I think I'm going to stick with that stuff. And then, again, just mainly 80s cartoons that I used to watch growing up. Real Ghostbusters, Beetlejuice, Mask. What I'm going to be doing away with, I think, because I did put up some things. I'm like spitting as I'm talking. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm sorry. I don't know if I did put up some things on my eBay store Just for like random figures that I've found in my collection over the last couple weeks that I've collected. Um, that coincidentally are mainly '90s toys. I wasn't into toys really in the '90s, other than WWF. So I have toys like I have a couple Earthworm Jim figures that I just randomly picked up at like a toy show. I have um, stone protectors, which are like the troll type figure, like the battle troll type figures. Those are cool, but I don't know. I mean, I like the way they look, but I don't have any connection to them. I only have them because they're old and because they look cool. Um, what's another one? Bucky O'Hare. Like Bucky O'Hare looks cool, but honestly, before I started collecting vintage toys, you know, several years ago, I had never even thought or heard about Bucky O'Hare. Like, it has no connection for me. So I really don't want to be. I'm not going to mention any names, but there are toy hunters and YouTubers, honestly, that just buy anything and everything that they can find just because it's vintage toys. ET, I'm definitely keeping my ET collection. I'm not getting rid of that at all. Um, but there are other people that I've seen on YouTube, um, YouTubers that I watch regularly actually, that any kind of vintage toy, if they find it at a yard sale or a thrift store, they buy. And I really don't want to be that guy. First of all, I don't have room for that. I don't have the money for that. And I mean, if I can't display it and enjoy it as something that means something to me, like that's a connection with to me, then I don't need it. I don't want to be a toy hoarder. I feel like there's a fine line between a toy collector and a toy hoarder. And I definitely don't want to be a toy hoarder because I know there are people that have storage units and, spare bedrooms full of Rubbermaid totes and boxes and bins of just toys that they're never going to do anything with, they're never going to look at, they're never going to display, and they mean nothing to them. And I don't want to be that kind of collector. So I definitely am slimming down. Some of the ones I mentioned are lines that I'm keeping. Um, but again, like things like stone protectors and Bucky O'Hare and Earthworm Jim, and even some Ninja Turtles. Like I was never like really a huge Ninja Turtles fan growing up because I was just into other things, and that kind of stuff. That mainly '90s toys, honestly. Um, I'm probably just gonna get rid of. I don't really need those things. I have no connection to them. Let's see. RB Animals and Game or RB Animals and Movies. The only part of my collection I focus on is my Batman collection and my movie collection. Batman, I do love. I love Batman. For a while, I thought about collecting like. For a while, I thought about trying to collect all the Kenner Batman figures from the '90s. You know how much room and money it would take to collect all the Kenner Batman figures from the '90s? That would be an insane thing to do. Uh, now I have many Kenner Batmans from the '90s, whether it's Batman the animated series or just whatever Bruce Wayne not Bruce Wayne, uh, Michael Keaton Batman. I have a lot of Batman figures, but I'm not going to do that. I'm probably going to get rid of most of those. RB Toys and Movies, I'll send you some Batman figures when I send your box to you, which I haven't forgotten about. If you missed my spiel earlier about sending things to people, I'm just very bad at following up on sending things. I have every intention of doing it. I actually have a box for you that has things in it for you that I want to send. Um, and it's just I'm very bad at following up on that stuff. So I do plan on doing that. I'll put some Batman figures in the box for you. Here's my ET cup that my friend Lori sent me. One of my favorite cups to drink out of. But anyway, yeah. Let's see. Dragon Master flying. What's up, Effer? I don't know. What's up with you, Effer? I just got done pooping. Free samples. Hey, thank you for letting us know that, man. I appreciate that. I just got done pooping, and I'm sad to report the season started out normal. Dude, you need a hobby, bro. What's up, Effer? There are tons of Batman from that toy company. Yeah, there are. Let's see. Let me see. It's hard for me to read this down here. That's why some channels I stop watching, because they are buying stuff that they have no connection with, and I just have totes of toys they forget about. It's been happening to me. Been giving them away. Yeah, exactly, and that's what I was saying. I don't want that to happen to me either. Now, I mean, I have boxes full of toys in my storage room, but it's stuff that I am trying to sell, like sell on eBay and Mercari, and things that I'm just giving away and trading and things like that. So I know that's exactly what I mean, man. I don't want to become that person either. Like, I only want to honestly keep the toys that have some kind of connection. Star Wars is another one. I'm just thinking about my shelves as we're talking here. Vintage Star Wars. Now, I love Star Wars, man. If I let myself, I could collect every kind of Star Wars toys there are. All the figures, the vintage, the 90s, Power of the Force and all that, all the vintage collection figures, the Black Series, all the ships, the Mission Fleet, and, all that stuff. There's so much Star Wars to collect, but I decided that I'm only focusing on the vintage, like 80s, 70s, and 80s Star Wars. The Kenner Star Wars. I still have your box to send out to. Oh, don't worry about it, brother. I still have one to send to you that I owe you from last time. Dragon Master, nothing. Listing. Going out of my mind. Might go to the flea market in a bit. Cool. Well, breakfast is ready. Glad to see you on this morning. Okay, cool. Go eat your food. But yeah, that's, ooh, look at this. I don't know if I can flip you around here. Yeah, there we go. Big old fire truck going by. I live the fire department is just like right down around the block, so we hear fire trucks going by all the time. Anyway, what was I saying? I don't know. My mind is all over the place right now. I'm looking for Jar Jar Binks figures. Oh, I used to have a couple Jar Jar Binks figures, but I don't think I have them anymore. If I come across Jar Jar Binks, I will definitely pick them up for you, bro. I actually set all my Jar Jar Binks figures on fire. Not really. I am not a fan of Jar Jar Binks at all. But if I come across some, I'll save them for you. So what about you guys? What are you guys collecting these days? Anything specifically? Anything out of the ordinary other than what you usually collect? Have you discovered any new toy lines lately that you're into? Like something that you haven't collected before? That's why I didn't pick up that small soldier's figure. I just don't have any connection with it. Yep, I get that, Shifty Thrifter. After I made that comment on your video, I thought to myself, I probably wouldn't have picked that up either. Like, I probably wouldn't have, just because I don't have any connection with it either. It's cool. Like, it's cool, but like I said, there are toy hunters and YouTubers that, that buy whatever they find, anything like that. Anytime they find something like that, I just can't do that anymore. So I'm gonna be pretty picky, I guess, when it comes. I mean, even more pickier than I am. Like, I get people all the time telling me, like, why didn't you buy that at the thrift store that you went to, or you're so cheap, you don't buy anything. It's not that I'm cheap. It's just that I don't want to buy just anything. You know. So I'm still gonna be particular. I'm still gonna be picky when it comes to stuff. I mean, I have a list on my phone of just things that I collect, to remind myself, this is what you're collecting. Don't stray from your list. Other than, besides action figures, I also have VHS tapes and Blu-rays that I collect. I have, vintage wrestling magazines that I collect. I have vintage, 80s and 90s and 70s character glasses, the kind that you get, they're used to get from McDonald's or Burger King or whatever. Garbage Pail Kids. I actually just got a couple new Garbage Pail Kids cards in the mail yesterday. Um, like, I have other things other than action figures that I like to collect too, so I gotta remember that. But anytime I see something like that, or any of those at a store or a thrift store or a toy show or whatever, those are going to be the things that I pick up. Black Star and D&D. Two rare. Now D&D I have never been into, honestly. Um, that's one of the things that, it's cool. It has no connection for me, because when I was a kid, my mom didn't let us watch D&D, even the cartoon. We weren't allowed to play it. We weren't allowed to watch it. We weren't allowed to read the books, or whatever, because of the whole satanic panic thing back in the 80s. So I have no connection to D&D. I think it's cool. I've watched the new movie as an adult, and I've watched some of the cartoon as an adult, which it's not any worse than anything else, really. But you know how it was back in the 80s. But I just have no connection with it. They're cool. I don't collect them. I'm hoping to close out the weekend with some good sales. I did about 600 in sales yesterday. I would like to do the same today. Dang, man. I have not done anything in sales. I don't know how. Well, I mean, I have not been out to any stores to actually find anything to sell, actually. So that's part of my problem, is I just haven't bought anything to resell. I picked up a Predator figure that was on clearance at Walmart. Cool. That's awesome. Steven loves Predator. My son Steven loves Alien and Predator figures. Like, there are a few. He's very, very particular with the toy lines that he collects too. Um, he loves McFarlane figures, Spawn, like all the Spawn figures. He loves, I don't know who these guys are that are coming up over here. He loves all the Spawn figures. He loves the McFarlane DC figures. He likes Transformers. And he likes Alien and Predator. Those are mainly what he collects. Oh, that reminds me, I have some wrestling mags for you. Really? Awesome, dude. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I love wrestling magazines. I love wrestling magazines. When I was a kid, I used to collect only the WWF magazine, because it was in color, and it had glossy pages. I didn't really like the black and white magazines that much, but these days I freaking love every vintage wrestling magazine. Uh, Angle Moon. I have no idea what that says. Shifty Thrifter, I will sometimes grab one if I know someone that I think will really like it that I may not be into. Yeah, same here. Excuse me. D&D sells well on eBay, especially vintage. That's good stuff to flip. I never find it unless I'm at like a thrift. I mean, at a toy show where they're wanting premium money. Shifty Thrifter. I grew up playing D&D. I love Aliens and AVP. You about to get accosted by some Jehovah Witnesses? Yeah, I think no. It's I guess the neighbors next door must have had company because they just walked right in. I don't know. But yeah, if I am at a thrift store or a toy show or somewhere and see something for relatively inexpensive that I know someone will like one of my friends likes, if I think about it in time, I definitely pick it up for him. Like Anthony, sometimes a couple times I've found Power Rangers stuff for him. Um, a lot of times I don't know if it's something that that person would want or not. So, like with him, I've sent him a couple messages before with a picture, like, "Hey, dude, you want this?" And he does the same for me a lot of times. So, I like having that kind of relationship with people, with friends, um, to where if you know what they like, you know what they collect, and if you're out and you see it, um, you just send him a quick picture and be like, "Hey, man, you need this? It's $2. I'll buy it for you." So I like having that kind of friendship with people because it's cool. Not only do you get cool stuff sometimes, but it's just good to have a friend like that that thinks about you. I like McFarlane Toyline. Yeah, Steven loves McFarlane. RB, man, did you do anything with those Kiss figures that you bought? In case you guys haven't watched his video, RB Animals and Movies, dude bought some really awesome Kiss figures from a toy store in his area recently. So go check out his channel. Those were awesome. All brand new in the box. And you got a crazy good deal on them too, didn't you? McFarlane is losing the DC license. I heard that. What about Superpowers? You got a Green Lantern? Yes, Superpowers. Yes. I definitely want to. That is a line that I have never really dove into before. I've always wanted to because I loved watching the Super Friends cartoon back in the 80s with all of those DC guys. And I've always, since I've been collecting vintage toys, I've always wanted to start collecting the DC superpowers. I am going to keep that line. So I do have the Green Lantern, like you said, and that's the only one I have so far. So I definitely have a ways to go. And those are, some of those can be expensive, but some of them you can find for decent prices at toy shows and stuff. So I definitely want to. I'm going to continue collecting the superpowers for sure. RB Dragon Master. Yeah, I'm hit and miss sometimes because I didn't collect anything super Power Rangers, but I've started expanding what I get. Yeah, yeah. Dragon Master's Fine's Power Ranger collection is getting pretty cool. He showed me a picture recently. Steve, they worked it out, keeping the license. Right now, the Kiss figures are sitting in a box until I get another shelf to put them on. That's cool. I also, I mean, it's very hard for me because where I live, I've told you guys this before. I have very little space to display anything. Like I have like two shelves in a a storage room right now that I display my collection on. Sometimes I just go in there and sit in a chair in front of my shelves and just look at them because that's the only like kind of like appreciation for my toys that I have is just being able to go in there and sit and look at two little shelves worth. If if at some point I'm able to, I would love to have like a toy room like a lot of people have, where I have like a whole room to display my stuff. I would love it. Um, Now, like before, I was talking about having toys in boxes and bins and stuff that you're never going to do anything with. That's like totally different from what I'm talking about now, where you have your collection, but just don't have room to display it. Like, at some point, I want to display all that stuff that I have in boxes and bins. That's totally different from what I was talking about earlier, where you just collect stuff just to have it, like just to hoard it, and you have no intention of doing anything with it. Space is getting tight. Yep. Let's put some more shelf. I just put some more on that shelf. Gonna treat myself to a new shelf, I think, tomorrow. Cool. Yeah. I have a plan. I have a very, it's a very, I think it's an IKEA shelf, but it's very skinny. It's like a very skinny bookcase. I think it has four actual shelves on it. It's pretty tall. It's probably, I don't know, 7 feet tall, 6.5, 7 feet tall, but it's very skinny. And I have a lot of my books, like my kids' books collection, which I'm thinking about scaling down a little bit, maybe. I don't know. I haven't decided yet on that. But I have my Nintendo games, my NES cartridges, my games, um, and a few other like knickknacks and stuff. I have all that stuff on that shelf right now. I'm thinking about taking all that stuff down and using that for space for toys, for figures. That's like my movie collection. I have no room to put them out, and they're sitting in totes and boxes right now. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's different from just hoarding stuff just to, you know, just to have it. Like honestly, I would say probably at least at least at least half of my collection. I was gonna say 60 or 70%, but maybe not that much. Maybe half of my collection is in boxes and totes right now, just because I don't have the space to display it. Someday, hopefully, I will, and I will get it all out and get some new shelves and display it like a real man, instead of the punk ass that I am. Uh, yeah. Well, I do have over 3,000 DVDs. Holy cow. That's a lot, man. I thought I had a lot. I would say I probably have 500 to 1,000, between 500 and 1,000, I would say. Um, and that's another thing. You guys see me sometimes in my videos on YouTube. You guys see me buying VHS, DVDs, and Blu-rays. I think I'm going to take a page out of the Shifty Thrifters book and kind of stop buying regular DVDs. I think I might just start doing just Blu-ray and VHS, of course. I gotta collect VHS. I love them. Just reminds me of being a kid. Um, so yeah, I think I'm gonna scale down. If I don't find what I want on Blu-ray, then I'm just gonna probably just pass on it from now on because I'm getting way too many. My wife has kind of mentioned it several times. She's like, "You just bring all these movies home and we don't ever watch them." I'm like, "Well, okay, so I'll just bring less movies home then, I guess." So, yeah, I'll bring less movies home, I guess. Um. So yeah, anything else going on with you guys? I do look through the VHS, but for things that I can't find on Blu-ray. Yeah, exactly. VHS do take up a lot of room. That's actually another thing that I have totes full of are VHS tapes. And again, it's not just because I want to have something to collect. I do plan at some point on having like a shelf full of my VHS tapes. Um, but yeah, they're just in the bins at this point. I have a big collection of VHS tapes too. Cool. Um, yeah, VHS tapes are just something that, I mean, I don't know. It's something that tugs at my heart. It's just so. I mean, I can remember being a kid. Going into the video rental store, finding movies and stuff with my mom and my sister. Uh, I still remember when we got our first VCR when I was a kid. And we had there was a store in the town closest to us. There was a store called Ames. I don't know if any of you guys remember Ames. But when we first got our very first VCR, my mom took us to Ames, and we got to pick out a few VHS tapes. And I remember when I was a kid, it was like the mid 80s, and which was only, 20 or 30 years after shows like the Andy Griffith Show and Little Rascals and things like that. So when I was a kid, we got some of our first VHS tapes that we were able to pick out were things like VHS tapes of the Andy Griffith Show and Little Rascals and stuff my mom loved. Not necessarily stuff we loved because at 6, 7, 8 years old, you don't really love the Andy Griffith Show, but my mom loved it, and so that's what we got. But we also got things like the Three Stooges, which I loved. And I remember the very first actual movie that I remember watching on VHS is Raiders of the Lost Ark, the first Indiana Jones movie. And to this day, it is like my all-time favorite movie. Raiders of the Lost Ark, I wore that tape out, man. I watched that movie so many times. It is my all-time favorite movie to this day. So, anyway, just a little nostalgia there. I have a big collection of VHS tapes. Arnett's Wrestling Podcast. What's up, man? How you doing? Don Quixote, W in the chat for feet. What's up, Don Quixote? Yeah, I'm not sure about your feet comment, but alright. I would love to find some Laserdisc. I've seen Laserdisc at thrift stores before. I just never picked it up. Marcus Bear, what's going on, brother? I'm actually surprised now that I think about it that my mom let us watch Raiders of the Lost Ark when I was like 7, 8 years old. Because it's not, it's a not a kids movie. So whatever. First movie I remember watching on VHS is Harry and the Hendersons. I love that movie. I saw my buddy Burf. I think it was Burf from 80s Toys Rock. Found recently a Harry and the Hendersons plush, vintage from the 80s at a thrift store, which I'm very jealous of because I would definitely pick that up too. That's another thing, guys, that I am going to scale way back on. Somebody was asking, I think Steve was asking a little while ago, like, what lines are you going to keep and what lines are you going to scale back on when you start back up making videos? That's another thing I'm going to cut way back on is plush. I don't know why I ever really, I mean, I do know why. There are some plush that really speak to me. I'm not a big plush person other than plush that mean a lot to me. There are several that mean a lot to me because they're things that I had when I was a kid. Um, one of them being if I ever were to able to find an Alf plush, I would definitely buy that. Or the Harry and the Hendersons, I would buy that. Or the green Good Luck Care Bear, the original 80s green Good Luck Care Bear. I would buy that. Because I had that when I was a kid. My mom surprised me one day from when I came home from school, like elementary school. It was sitting on my bed. So if I ever found that, I would buy that. So there are certain plush that I would buy um, or keep in my collection. Um, like the there are several, Garfield plush that remind me of being a kid that I had. There are the McDonald's Muppet Babies, the Christmas ones. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. Back in the 80s, McDonald's put out the Christmas Muppet Babies plush. Kermit, Miss Piggy, and Fozzie. I have all of those right now that I'm gonna be keeping because those mean something to me. Um, but you guys may have seen me in videos in the past just buy plush just because it's old. Like I'm thinking about right now. I remember not too long ago I bought a Tasmanian Devil plush from the thrift store. I bought a Bugs Bunny plush from the thrift store just because they were from the 80s. They're Looney Tunes, which I love Looney Tunes, but I don't need plush of them. So that's one thing that I'm going to kind of cut back on doing is just buying things because they're old. Um, and I have them in a bin in my storage room, which I could just sell them or get rid of them. I don't really need them. And I have several plush that I've picked up the same way. Like, I mean, there are plush I remember having as like a little kid, like Sesame Street. I had this Grover plush when I was like a toddler. That means a lot to me. If I were to ever find another one, I would pick it up. Um, like my Kermit the Frog plush that I have. Now the Kermit the Frog plush that I have is kind of like a remake of the one I had as a kid. I would love to find a vintage Kermit the Frog plush, but anyway, enough about plushes. I just ramble. I just go on rants, guys. I don't know if you notice or not. I've seen that video too, and I got jealous of it too. Which one? The Tasmanian Devil plush, Arby? Muppets is kind of a different, though, since they're kind of a plush already. True. trying to think of what other plush I have. I remember my mom and dad, they haven't been in a long, long time, but sometimes go thrifting, and when they're there, they send me um, photos and things asking if I want some of the stuff that's there at their thrift store. And they pick up some plush sometimes that I really don't need. Like, one time they bought me this, it kind of looks like the Nestle Quick Rabbit. I don't think it is, but it kind of looks like it. And it's a large plush from like the 70s. And I was like, yeah, I'll take that just because it was from the 70s. I don't even know what rabbit it is, really. I don't have any connection to it. Like, stuff like that is what I'm talking about. I don't need to buy that stuff. I don't need to hang on to that stuff anymore. So I'm going to be getting rid of a lot of my plush. Yeah, I mean, just trying to do some scaling down, scaling back. I still have an Alf hand puppet that my grandpa gave me before he passed away in the early 90s. That's awesome.
Can you tell me what kind of gas to put in the lawnmower, please? Is it the same stuff for chainsaws and weed whackers?
It's just regular gas.
Just regular gas?
Yeah.
In different tub?
Yeah. Oh boy. Well, apparently. Alright, well, I may have to end this live stream pretty soon. Oh, the church bells are going off. Must be 10 o'clock. Steven was supposed to mow the grass today. Out back. And, well, actually, he was supposed to mow the grass a week ago, and he's been putting it off and not doing what he was supposed to do. Lori just came out and said, "Oh, sweaty." She came out and said, "Can you tell me what kind of gas to put in the lawnmower?" So he better not have put that off onto her. I may have to go and save her, even though my leg is currently bandaged up and wrapped up. I'll wait and see if I hear the lawnmower going. Anyway, Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan? Yeah, I have a couple of those Alf hand puppets too. I think those are the ones from Burger King that they had back in the 80s. Those are cool. Church bells. The Undertaker has arrived. Oh my gosh. So yeah, guys. Like I said before, I'm making plans to I'm making plans for my return. I do have some plans. Probably my first video back is probably going to be that trip over to my buddy Michael's house. Like I said, he actually told me that he is having another yard sale and invited me to come and go through the toys and stuff that he's going to put out for his yard sale before the yard sale happens, so I can get first pick of, what he has, what I might want. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely do that. We're kind of making plans for that right now. Probably not this coming week, but sometime the following week, I'm going to go over to his house and see what he's got, see what I can pick up, add to my collection. So I'll be definitely taking a video of that. That will probably be my first video back. So be on the lookout for that. in the next couple weeks. Um, which is cool because from what I remember from his last yard sale, he had some pretty good stuff left over. So whatever he had left then, plus whatever he has now, I know that he has gone to some auctions and picked up some cool toys and stuff at uh, like local auction houses. One of his pickups, he actually bought a vintage Motu Battle Bones with like six or seven Skeletor figures, which is crazy, like vintage Skeletor figures. I think four of them were the Battle Armor Skeletor, which I already have. And then a couple of them were like the old vintage Skeletor figures, which I don't have one of. So I'm definitely gonna see if he has one of those still that I could grab, and maybe the Battle Bones figure, depending on what he wants for that, or the Battle Bones vehicle. Epic Lego Channel. Hi, hi. How's it going? Um, I know he picked up some wrestling figures, some real Ghostbusters ghosts. Definitely want to maybe see what kind of real Ghostbusters ghosts he has. Um, yeah, I mean, it should be a fun time. Um, I'm looking for Crash Dummy toy line, but it's a hard line to find. Yeah, yeah. Um, Epic Lego Channel, dude. I said hi. Crash Test Dummies, yes, those are cool. Um, that's again, that would be. I think it was a '90s, maybe. I'm not sure. So that was an '80s or a '90s toy line. Not really something again that I'm have a connection with. I mean, I certainly remember the Crash Test Dummies commercials and things on TV when I was a kid, but I have never owned any of the toys. Don't know. Was it a cartoon? I don't know. If it was, I never watched the cartoon. So not really something that I'm connected to. Probably not something that I'm gonna collect for myself. But it's a cool line. I've seen figures of them before. Of the figures. Figures of the figures. I've seen the figures before. Uh, so yeah, hopefully you'll be able to find those. They are kind of hard to find though. Uh, Crash Test Dummies come out in the '90s. That's what I was thinking. '90s. Sorry, I wasn't listening. LOL, he wasn't watching. Um, so yeah, hopefully you'll be able to find those. That'd be cool. If that's a toy line that you're interested, I hope you find them all. Um, I've kind of decided, like I was saying before, I think my interests have kind of evolved a little bit more toward like 70s and 80s toys. Again, not so much 90s stuff. Um, like I said before, it's basically just because I didn't really collect toys in the 90s other than wrestling toys. I didn't really watch cartoons. All I watched in the 90s was wrestling, man. I didn't really watch much cartoons in the 90s even. Early 90s, yeah, I did. Like Captain Planet and, uh, um, whatever. But I think 70s, like late 70s and 80s toys are what really connect what I connect to better. Sorry, I'm all over the place today. I'm thinking about her mowing the grass now. Um, Epic Lego channel. Can you please show me around your city? Because I'm not American. No, sorry, I can't do that. I'm sitting on my front porch. I'm not walking around my city right now. The Incredible Cast SWs was a show from the 1993. Oh, cool. Yeah, see, I never watched it. I would like to get into Marshall Bravestar. I found Tech 6 recently. I always thought the line was cool. Yeah, Bravestar was a show that I had seen several times as a kid, but never really got into. However, when Steven was a little kid, about 15 years ago, um, we had this like channel on our TV that we got that played all old TV shows and cartoons, and Brave Star was on there, and he and I both got into Brave Star because of that channel, and so Brave Star is pretty cool. I mean, again, like I said, I watched it a few times as a kid. I loved it because I think it came on right before He-Man. But I never had any of the toys. I only have one or two Brave Star figures right now. Crystar is something that I would like to get more figures of. I only have one or two figures of Crystar, and I think those my friend Lori Espana sent to me. Um, the Arco, the Otherworld, I would love to have more figures of. Like a lot of the old Remco lines, like Karate Kid and um, you know stuff like that. I would love to have more figures of. So, yeah, pretty cool. Nerd Life, what's going on, man? How you doing, bud? Good to see you. Um, oh, at some point that other bird flew away, I guess. I don't know if you guys can see her up there, sitting on her little nest. I don't know what she's doing. Oh, there she is. Hi. What you doing up there? Huh? What you doing up there? You okay? Yeah, you're okay. Let's see. RB, hey, Nerd Life. Epic Lego channel. I'm leaving. Bye. See ya. Yeah, I have two, maybe four pairs of red cardinals on my back porch. Oh, wow. That's cool. I'm good. How have you been? I've been doing alright, man. Doing alright. Trying to get healthier. I've lost, like I said, about 10 to 12 pounds since the beginning of July. So I'm trying to keep going with that. Um, not doing too great as far as my leg goes. It's still bothering me, but we'll get by. Uh, um, I have an interview. I haven't forgot to tell you guys about that. I have an interview um, this coming week for a new job. Uh, so, if you're the type of person to send out positive vibes and prayers and thoughts and all that stuff, remember me this week. I have an interview for a new job on Thursday. And yeah, just trying to get things back on track, man. Trying to get things going. Trying to get life back on track. Life kind of has been sucking lately for me for a while, but trying to get back on track. Thank you guys. Thank you. I appreciate that. Just hoping the outside cats don't get the Cardinals. Yeah, we have lots of birds out in our backyard. My wife has made like a sanctuary out there as far as her gardening and stuff goes. She's got an unbelievably amazing garden. We've got a fish pond out back. We've got, she's just got an amazing flower garden. We got a big vegetable garden out back too. But specifically her flowers have attracted all kinds of birds to our yard that are nesting in our yard right now. She's got a pair of catbirds that are nesting in her rose bushes right now. And as you see, we've got doves nesting above our heads as we speak. So, yeah, we got birds all over the place, too. But, yeah. So, did any of you guys watch, I don't know if any of you guys watch wrestling. Did you guys watch Saturday night's main event last night? And who plans to watch Evolution tonight? This is like a wrestling weekend, man. NXT's Great American Bash was yesterday afternoon. I watched a little bit of that. I'm not the biggest NXT fan. But I did watch Saturday night's main event last night. And I do plan to watch Evolution tonight. Saturday night's main event was pretty, I was going to say exciting, but I don't know if it was exciting. It was unexpected. Surprising. Because it did not go, like none of the stuff that I thought would happen happened. Seth Rollins got legit hurt, which I'm thinking maybe the plan all along was, I thought maybe Seth Rollins would cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase last night. I thought they were going to have Goldberg possibly beat Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. And then Seth Rollins would cash in somehow and get the belt. But in the match right before that, Seth Rollins got legit hurt. So I think everything had to change on a dime. And Gunther beat Goldberg in his retirement match. But the way they cut it off, like right at the end, was just weird. Do you think Triple H is doing a good job with creative? No, I don't. It's been a while since I've watched any wrestling on TV. I watch it all the time. No, I don't think. I think back in, like, I don't know, the beginning of this year, Triple H was hot as far as, like, storylines and stuff like that. But Um, lately, it's just been terrible. I feel like it's been terrible. Lexalator, thank you, man. I appreciate that. That was very nice of you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Um, yeah, I hope I get the job too. I really do. It would be a good job, a good change. Not to change subjects from wrestling talk, but it would be a good change for me and my family. Um, it would be more money. It would be close to home, which right now I'm at home all the time, so it wouldn't be closer to home. Wouldn't be closer to home than my living room. Um, but it wouldn't be too far. It's just in King of Prussia, which is the next town over from where I'm at. So it'd be like 15 minutes away. Um, so yeah, it would be a good change for me and my family. Plus, I need to get out of here, out of the house more, because we're all kind of stuck in the house all the time and driving each other crazy. Watching wrestling back in the 90s and early 2000s, I didn't care for Triple H. Yeah, Triple H wasn't my favorite character either back in the day. I think he lost steam after Cody finished the story. Yeah, I agree. For me, SmackDown has been the better show lately. Yes, I agree with that too. Ever since Raw moved to Netflix, I think it's has sucked big time. SmackDown is a much better show right now, I believe. I think you're right about that. And yeah, ever since they took the belt off of Cody, I think it's gone downhill for sure. As far as like creative wise. Not that Cody was that interesting. I like his character, but they didn't really do a whole lot of interesting storylines with him as champion. Um, I think Jey Uso, people love Jey Uso, but I'm not sure he was a great world champion. Like, I mean, people and kids especially love Jey Uso's character right now. But at some point, they're going to get tired of it, like wrestling fans always do. And they'll turn against him, like wrestling fans always do. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I think Cody is probably their best bet right now. Um, Randy Orton is one of my favorite wrestlers. And I think I would love to see Randy Orton get one more title run before he retires, but I don't think that's going to happen. They keep teasing Sami Zayn. He wants to be world champion one time, at least one time before he. I don't know. I don't think Sami Zayn is world championship material. He's just not interesting to me at all. Like I, I don't know. I wouldn't like that if that happened. I think Cody's getting the title back at SummerSlam. I hope he does. Um, because Cena's. I don't know. I hope he does. Favorite wrestling was Kane, Undertaker, The Rock, and Rey Mysterio. Yeah, Kane. Yeah, I like all those guys. As far as like wrestling ability goes, Rey Mysterio will always be one of my favorites to watch. As far as wrestling, as far as entertainment, The Rock. We know. Everybody knows The Rock was entertaining. Kane and The Undertaker were just awesome uh, personalities, characters. But Rey Mysterio, my favorite wrestlers right now, as far as like the newer era of wrestling, which for me is like 2000, like from 2000 until now, the last 20 years. Definitely Rey Mysterio is one of my all-time favorites. Um, as far as like wrestlers right now that I like the guys that I'm not really that much of a character guy as I am like the guys that put their all into the matches. Like the guys that go out there and they sacrifice their own health to be in the matches, like Kevin Owens. Like freaking Kevin Owens, Mick Foley when he wrestled. Um, but specifically, like these days, I'm thinking about like guys like Kevin Owens and um, who else was it? I was just thinking of someone else recently that's like that. Anyway, guys like that give everything they got every time they go out there. Those are the kind of guys that I like. So I would say probably again Kevin Owens is one of my favorites these days. I think Sammy can work as champion with a Kofi type story with a short reign. Yeah, kind of like the Daniel Bryan type thing, right? Do any of you guys collect the older wrestling figures? Absolutely. Marcus, definitely I do. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that about like a Daniel Bryan type storyline for Sammy. You know, give him a month or two as champion. I mean, I guess that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I don't know. I'm not that into Sami Zayn for some reason. Yeah, Marcus, which ones are you picking up? Like just any older figure, or are you looking at like more like the older, the big rubber LJN figures, or like the '90s, the plastic WWF Hasbro figures, or anything older than that, like the Remco AWA figures, or just anything? I love them all. Thumb wrestling? Oh, cool. Yeah, those were cool. I do have several thumb wrestling, LJN thumb wrestling figures in my collection. Randy Orton is awesome. My favorite current wrestlers are Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, joining the Penta, and Braun Breaker has been doing. Yeah, I do enjoy Cody Rhodes. I think he's a good uh, he's a good figurehead kind of for WWE right now. Like a company spokesman type guy, you know, uh, because everybody loves him. Everybody loves him. Now, if they ever turned him heel, that would kind of ruin everything. But as of right now, he's a good guy to kind of build a company around, I think. Um, Seth Rollins, he's okay. I've never been a huge Seth Rollins fan. I love his music. I like his entrances and his music. As far as wrestling goes, he's okay. Um, LA Knight is good. I like him a lot right now. Uh, yeah. My wife and son are huge LA Knight fans. My son is definitely a huge Randy Orton fan. We were watching Saturday night's main event last night, and Steven was like, Steven was like, man, Randy Orton is so built. I was like, yeah, I guess he is. Like, he's got to be like the best built wrestler in WWE right now. Like, okay, yeah, maybe. Did you know Kane is mayor of Knox County? Yes, I did. Yep, I think he's been a mayor for a couple years now. There's a guy that I watch sometimes on YouTube who actually ran into Kane at a Buc-ee's store, I think, like a convenience store. And he filmed it and put it on his YouTube channel. It's kind of funny. Oh, Lord. My crazy neighbor just came out onto her porch yelling. This woman is bat shit crazy. Sorry for my language, but she comes out onto her front porch and screams across the whole neighborhood, cursing and screaming and going on and on and on all the time. So she just came out onto her front porch, so we may get a show here in just a few minutes. I like the fact that Cody dresses sharp during his promos. Yeah, he does, man. He is always like 99% of the time in a suit. He's cool. I like Cody. I didn't watch wrestling back when he was like Stardust and his other Cody Rhodes gimmicks that he had. That was kind of the time of life where I didn't watch wrestling for like 10 to 15 years. So I didn't really know him as anything other than the character that he is now, like the Cody Rhodes character in the suit and tie and the blonde hair, you know. So for me, it's kind of a fresh, a fresh person. She's over spitting and sputtering, man. So yeah. What was I talking about? Oh, Randy Orton. Yeah, Randy Orton is one of my sons and wife's favorites. So has anybody seen Superman yet? I've heard that it's great. My buddy Crazy Joe, who is a movie reviewer, has seen it multiple times and said that he would, if he could drive right now. I guess he has two broken arms right now. Somehow he broke both of his arms. So if he could drive, he said he would have seen it many more times by now. But I guess he's seen it multiple times already and says that it's great. I have not seen it yet. I want to see it, but just haven't. I don't really go to the theater that much. I don't enjoy going to the theater. I have this paranoia of going to the movie theater. And it's just purely my psychosis, I guess. But ever since, you guys remember, like 10, 15 years ago, when that kid went into the movie theater and shot up everybody, dressed up like the Joker, and like shot up the movie theater. Like, I have honestly a paranoia of going to the movie theater. Every time we're at the movie theater, I have to know where the exits are. Like, I have to be in an aisle wide enough that I could get down in. And this is like all like within minutes after we find a seat in a movie theater. Like, all this stuff goes through my mind. Am I in an aisle wide enough that I can get down in and cover up my family if something happened? Where the exits are. Like, I don't go to movie theaters because of my brain is weird. So I usually watch movies at home. Dragon Masters, I did last night. You watched Superman last night? How was it? What'd you think? No, but I hear it's really good. I went to see Jurassic World Rebirth. Oh, how was Jurassic Nerd Life? I heard Jurassic World Rebirth was terrible. Also from my friend Crazy Joe. What did you think about it? Now, my family are big Jurassic Park, Jurassic World fans. We actually enjoy uh, most of the Jurassic World movies. So let me know what you thought of the new Jurassic Park, Jurassic World movie. My friend Crazy Joe said he hated it. Dragon Master, I give it an 8 out of 10. Really? Cool. That's pretty good. Have you seen Fighting with My Family on Tubi? Is that the one about Paige? Is that the one with Paige from WWE in it? RB? If so, yes, I've seen that. I didn't see it on Tubi. I think I saw it on Amazon Prime or something. Yeah, the movie's about Paige. Yep, I did see that. Nerd Life, I loved it. I thought it was so good. I love the dinosaurs in it. Oh, okay, cool. All right. See, I mean, you can't always trust one opinion. So I always like to ask people what they thought of movies because, one person who hates it, the next person loves it. So, you know, he was saying the effects were terrible. Like the action scenes were terrible. Like it looked like like so bad that it looked like a green screen. Like it didn't look real at all. I don't know. I'll have to watch it for myself. I never like go off of other people's opinions, whether I'm going to watch a movie or not. But I do like to hear other people's opinions on what they thought of it. So, the story was really good too. Cool. Yeah, we're definitely going to see it at some point. But yeah, honestly, I don't even remember the last movie I saw in a movie theater. What it was. Oh, I think Deadpool. Deadpool versus, or not versus. Was it? No, Wolverine. Deadpool and Wolverine. That was the last movie I saw in a movie theater. Um, I don't know. Like I said, I'm very weird about movie theaters. Um, Plus, I don't like to be cramped in. Like, I don't go to places where I gotta sit in a little cramped seat. I mean, you guys know I'm a big guy. I do not like to go and be cramped in a tiny little seat for 2 or 3 hours, which is why I don't go to. Well, one of the reasons I don't go to the movie theater more often, or sporting events that much. Uh, anyway, I'm hoping to change that um, with a little bit healthy eating. Hi again, Lego Channel. I'm super glad you're back. Oh man. So, I don't know what time it is. I don't know how long I've been on here. I'm probably going to hop off in just a couple minutes. So, thank you guys for coming. Like I said, I've missed talking to you guys. Even, like, honestly, just even through, like, the comments and stuff that you leave on my videos. Um, like, I enjoy interacting with you guys. And I've missed doing the live streams, too, because it's more fun being able to talk back and forth this way. But yeah, I'm assuming it's probably around 11. I'm gonna go find myself something to eat because I'm getting kind of hungry. I had a big salad for dinner last night. That's all I had was a large salad. So I need some protein or something, I think. I'm gonna go find some sausage and eggs, maybe. I don't know what that was. Sounds like there might be an accident down there at the corner. Maybe. I don't know. Did you get my last email where I sent you my address? I have not checked, Nerd Life. I will definitely check today. Um, I'll check it. I don't think I've checked it since then. I remember talking to you, asking for your address, but I don't think I got it. I don't think I've seen it since then. Doesn't mean I didn't get it. I'm just haven't checked my email in a couple days, so I'll definitely check for it, man. Thank you for sending that to me. Um, yeah, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and I think I'm gonna jump off of here. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you for being a part of my live stream. I'm going to definitely try to start this up again every other week. At least every other week. So I'll post like notifications and reminders and stuff when I do these, so that you guys can join me. I appreciate you being here, guys. Yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your Sunday, though. A great rest of your week coming up. And again, watch for the return of JPhillyRetro videos. Probably not this week, but maybe the following week. Once I go and check out Michael's yard sale stuff. So, yeah, guys, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys later. Have a good rest of your weekend. Later, guys. If I can figure out how to turn this thing off. There we go. See you guys later.